There are a number of reasons as to why sometimes a sister may not necessarily get married after reaching the age of 30 or waiting up until the age of 30. Sometimes just simple qadar. It wasn't decreed for her even though she was actively looking and she was trying to get the right guy. Maybe she's in a locality where most guys over there don't tend to be good individuals.
There is a pandemic of unmarried women in their 30s not finding suitable pious spouses. How would you advise communities to tackle this?
I have to be very pragmatic in answering this question. I have a number of questions. And of course, this is not for every single woman, So please, no one take away from this that I'm generalizing. Because wallahi, I'm not. And I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of the time, when brothers are looking for marriage, and they see a sister that has past the age of 25, they begin to ask these questions. Why? After the age of 25, she hasn't already married. Wallahi, as my sisters, I'm telling you guys how these men think, these men. And we sometimes just have to deal with reality. Sometimes women think a certain way. You just can't change that. And we have to adjust to these variables. Okay, what do we do with this problem that we have? Also, it's not fair to say that all women that have passed the age of 25 or they've reached the age of 30, they are feminists. I hear sometimes brothers saying this, and fear Allah. There are a number of reasons as to why sometimes a sister may not necessarily get married after reaching the age of 30 or waiting up until the age of 30. Sometimes just simple qadar. It wasn't decreed for her even though she was actively looking and she was trying to get the right guy. Maybe she's in a locality where most guys over there don't tend to be good individuals. So I advise you, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, that when a woman now reaches the peak of her beauty, and there are studies that have been done with regards to this, that a woman reaches the peak of her beauty between the ages of 18 and 24. Normally at the age of 18 and 24, what are they normally doing? University. Like even when you look at the system, right? The system of society. You have now taken these 18 to 24-year-olds who are at the peak of their beauty. And it is at this stage of their life when their temptations are greatest. Sahih? The shahwa, it's spiraling out of control. Right? The sexual desire, you've placed them all in one place. What do you think is going to happen? You have your answer. It's honestly something to think about. These are realities, my brothers and my sisters. I know parents, they listen to the videos. What we see on a day-to-day basis may well be something you will never come across. It is horrifying, shocking what happens in schools. Now it's trickling down to secondary schools. I speak to teachers, they relay information back to me of what some of these youngsters are doing there. It's a different time. It scares the living daylight out of me that I have two daughters that may well grow up in this society. What shall I do? Shall I just sit here and cry about the situation? How many times have sisters come up to me feeling a sense of regret? Wallahi, I wish I got married earlier. If you guys don't believe me, let me find this, right? Have you guys heard of, I think her name is Peronella Wyatt. You know who she is, my brothers and my sisters? The ex-girlfriend of Boris Johnson. You guys heard of Boris Johnson? I'm sure you guys remember his hair, sah? You know what she said? This is recently. And I'm giving it to you guys from the horse's mouth, from the Daily Mail. You guys heard of Daily Mail? I'm sure you have, right? They posted this. The title says the following: I am single. This is the lady called Petronella Wyatt, the ex-girlfriend of Boris Johnson. She says, I am single, childless, and alone. Feminism has failed me and my generation. This is what she writes. She wrote to herself, brothers and sisters. No one forced her to write it. SubhanAllah. When you think of what feminism stands on, my brothers and my sisters, calling for the structure of society to be changed in order for men and women to be equal. This was unheard of before the 1960s. Right? When second wave feminism started becoming so much more widespread. Right? And showing opposition to the traditional role that a woman has had throughout history. So basically, in other simple terms, that for 19, or should I say 1,960 years, humanity was lost. Till these ladies came along after the 1960s who began to advocate for women's rights. And by the way, my brothers and sisters, today we spoke about it, right? In the khutbah, for those who came. Islam gives women the rights that no other religion or modern day ideology will. It gives her that which will serve her best interest. Sorry, I tend to kind of like ramble on a little bit, but I think that was important to mention. So to conclude the question, my brothers and my sisters, I advise the brothers to be open-minded, to ask. Do your vetting. You have every right to do so. Not every single sister is single for whatever the negative reasons that are mentioned today. Right? And sometimes what they do is they repent. They realize what they may have been doing wasn't always compatible with the religion. Like it seems like Petronella White, she made tawbah. Sahih. Looks like khalas, she's remorseful.